Okay. All right. We live? Am I getting feedback? I think we're live. Let's go. Talking like there's people here. There ain't nobody in here. Let's go. Make sure. What's up? What's up? What's up, chat? This is the Shed's first ever live stream. How are we doing? What's up? What's up? How are we doing on this fine Saturday evening? Good evening. Good evening. What's up, everybody? Hey, let's go. Let's go. Got some people in here. What's up, everybody? This is just a little, I guess it's sort of a test live stream. I've been wanting to get into this for a little bit, especially since the audience has been growing a bit recently. So just want to find a new way to connect with you guys. Been super into this. So yeah, we're giving it a shot. I'm going to keep it super low key today. Yeah. I was training with your videos before 2 hours. Hey, let's go. You've been on the grind. Let's go. Where's everybody watching from? Also, let me know, how does everything look? How does everything sound? This is my first time doing this, so this is kind of just like a little test run. How's the audio sound? Got some music playing. Just kind of hanging out. How's the camera angle? You guys let me know. I actually adjust this a little bit. Right about there. From Ethiopia, living in Abu Dhabi. Dang. You're on the other side of the globe, homie. Evening. What time is it in your country? I'm in America. I'm in Central Time, so it is 6:13 p.m. for me right now. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, everybody. All right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna host a community freestyle session tonight, but didn't get notice out soon enough, so nobody was really available. Nobody was gonna show up. That's the real reality of it. Nobody really. I was like, "Yo, who wants to have a session?" And nobody really responded. So it's just me, and I just thought, why not have like a little test out this live stream idea a little bit. So as we kind of get more people in, this is gonna be. I'm gonna open it up maybe for like a little Q&A, but also we're just gonna kind of keep it chill. Probably keep it pretty short today as well. Just kind of looking for a little bit of feedback from everybody who's in here, even just trying to get the video and everything all figured out and set. Got a little light right here too, just kind of help with the quality and stuff. But yeah, let's go. Hold on, let me see here. Calling out 10 super chats. Here. Oh. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, let's see how many people we can get in here. If you know anybody that you think would enjoy this stream, sure to let them know that we're in here. And yeah, let me see. Got my computer set up over here, so hey, let's go. I'm glad that the tutorials are helping you out. Yeah, y'all. So anybody who's in here, we're just kind of hanging out. We're gonna keep the chat open for any questions. This is just kind of a test run. This is something that we're gonna start doing more frequently. Hopefully, we'll be doing one of these once, maybe a couple times a week. I'd really love to kind of build out this whole, build out this stream, kind of turn it into something, just kind of evolve the channel a little bit, I guess I should say. Kind of enter into something new. So let me know how everything is looking. Let me know how the audio sounds. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of be hanging out. I'm probably gonna be just kind of moving around, session a little bit, maybe freestyling, playing around with some ideas. So feel free to just hang out, send this stream to somebody who you think would enjoy it. Yeah, anybody who comments or has a question, I'll be sure to, I'll try to get to that. Audio's good. All right, sick. How's the music sound? Poland. Hey, let's go. I missed that one. Let's go, Poland. Me with the mic in my hand. How's the music sounding? Audio's good. Nice, let's go. Yeah, anybody who has any knowledge in live streaming or anything of the nature, like, I appreciate like just feedback or, you know, input on like how to get the live stream out to more people. I think there's only a couple of us in here, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah, just anybody Also, if, like I said, if you guys have anybody that you think would enjoy the stream, or if you're a follower of the channel and you would be willing to share this with on your social media, or just kind of post it, put it out in the world, that'd be super sick. Appreciate y'all. Hey, thank you. Hey, we got a couple more people in here. Let's go. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Shed's first ever live stream. For anybody who's new, anybody who's just joining, we're just kind of hanging out, session a little bit, listening to music. I'm here to answer any questions that anybody has. Yeah, this is something that I would love to. This is something that I would love to keep doing. Something that I would love to kind of dive into for the channel. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do this more regularly. Yeah, I would love to just let this be a time where I can interact with you guys a little bit more, kind of get a little bit more in depth with some of the conversations that we're able to have. Obviously, we're limited when it comes to the channel because, can't really talk to you guys in live time. But with this, I can. So any questions that you guys have, any topics that you want to dive into, I would love to talk about, hip hop, just break down stuff, answer any questions or try to help you guys with anything that you might be struggling with. And also just kind of hang out, just kind of hang out and vibe. I would love to get some more people in here as well. This week it's just me, but maybe next week we'll have some special guests. And yeah, it'll be fun. I have a question. Sometimes when I dance hip hop, I can look stiff, mostly do jazz, funk, MTV, K-pop, so focus a lot on lines and clear poses. So my hip hop dancing looks stiff and without groove. I definitely relate. Yeah, I think that a lot of people can relate to that. Candy Dog. Yeah, Candy Dog. I think that a lot of people can relate to that. I think that my short and sweet answer, without obviously not knowing too much about you or your situation or just your knowledge of dance or when it comes to hip hop, but just like any dance style, hip hop has its own foundation and its own technique. And the way that I see it is the foundation is not just the layer that we start with and then never come back to. The foundation and the core technical components of the dance, that is the dance itself. And so I think that stiffness or that maybe lack of continuity that you're feeling could just be a lack of understanding or a lack of context for the foundation in your body, regardless of your knowledge of foundation when it comes to hip hop. Constantly reiterating and constantly training that foundation and constantly expanding your understanding of it is one of the most valuable things that you can do. And that's something that I would say to anybody, that's something that I say to myself. But yeah, I think that also another thing to think about when it comes to that is it doesn't have to be, I'm used to dancing this one way. And, when I go into hip hop, I feel like I'm not doing it correctly, understanding the core foundation of hip hop dance, the more that you spend time formulating an understanding of those things, the bounce, the rock and the groove, you're saying, the more the time that you can spend, really developing those ideas in your body and in your movement, the more that you will be able to bring some of those other ideas from the other dance styles, whether it's jazz funk or K-pop, all that other stuff, the lines and the sharpness that you're talking about, you'll be able to bring some of those elements into that movement. So don't look at those things as necessarily things that are holding you back. I think it's more so kind of going back when it comes to hip hop, kind of getting back to the root and the foundation of it, because the foundation is the dance, right? That is the meat of it. And that's what's going to enable you to kind of showcase yourself within the dance. So hopefully that makes sense. That was a long answer, but yeah, I think that that's definitely something that people can relate to. Feeling stiff and stuff. How we doing, everybody? Any questions that you guys have? Any topics that you would like to dive into? Throw them my way. I'd love to dive into anything that you guys want to talk about. For anybody who's new and hanging out, what's going on? This is the Shed's first ever live stream. We're just kind of hanging out session, doing a little Q&A, and just listening to music, kind of more testing out this whole format. So. Let me go back to this album that I was on a second ago. Some J Dilla. Love J Dilla tracks. I have a question about some hip hop vocab. I was watching the 60 hip hop dance steps videos. What's the difference between the world of dance and the pepper seed? Very good question. In that situation, that could very well be sometimes when it comes to hip hop, it has a little bit to do, and like vocab and like the way that things are named, it has a little bit more to do with who you're learning from and like what tradition you're following while you're learning. So with that, I think that it could be that it's the same move, different names. And I think that it could have, both of those, I think, slipped their way into the YouTube video without me necessarily realizing it. I don't think that I realized. I was like, oh crap, I put the same move in twice. So that could very well be part of the confusion. Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't know that there's a real difference between the two. Could be a variation as well. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of a common thing that happens with hip hop dance steps. Like I made a whole video about it, the difference between the Reebok, which is this step. Some people think that this step is called the Cabbage Patch, but that's because there's a very similar variation of the Cabbage Patch where you go side to side. And the untrained eye can't tell the difference. One of them, there's a circle with the arms, and one of them, the arms are kind of more moving like they're playing the drum set. So I think that it's a little bit more a situation like that. And I think that it's maybe just something that passed me. Yeah. Song switched up on me. just little old me out here. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see who we got. Let me know, chat. How are we feeling? How's everything looking? Chat. Turn it into a live streamer. Yeah. Is everybody in this chat? Is everybody a dancer? Is everybody like somewhat involved in dance, studying dance, practicing dance? What's the title of the song playing? At this current moment, the title of the song that's playing is The Clapper. It's a beat. It's an instrumental by Jay Dilla. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see if I can drop this in the... I'm going to drop a link to this in the chat. I'm listening to... this is an album called Welcome to Detroit by Jay Dilla. This is the instrumental version of the album. There's also a version with lyrics and stuff. I just like the instrumental. Let me see if I can drop y'all a link to the album just so that you can... Still working out the technical side of this. This should be it. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Copy link. Let me see if this will work. Let me paste this for you. Paste. Let's see. This is a link on YouTube to the album that I'm listening to for anybody who is interested. One more question about counting and musicality. I understand when is a count, but not really. What is a 1 and 2 and? Okay, gotcha. Hey, left from Poland. Let's go. 2 questions in here. The difference between an 8 count and the and counts. So this is just main difference between this is if you were to imagine, so we have an 8 count. It's the way that we count music as dancers. We count from 1 to 8, timing that 8 count to the rhythm of the music that we're dancing to. So for this song, be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting this song with a basic 8 count, that would be the bass rhythm. When we start to add in the and count, or start to count it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Adding in that digit in the center, we're getting into what is called the and count. Basically, the and count is a count that exists in between every full count. So when I count 1, 2, 3, 4, in between each of those counts, there is an and count. And it's because there are different elements of the music. Well, for us, the way that, for dancers, the reason why this is helpful is because there are different elements of the music that are on different rhythms or that are connected to different parts of the 8 count. So like the kick and the snare, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just on the full counts. But then the and counts or the hi-hat is on the and count rhythm. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Right? Hear how the hi-hats are on the and count. So essentially, the and count is a half count that exists in between each full count. So if you were to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it would be a count that exists in between each of those counts. And it's also how you would time a double tempo rhythm. So if I were to bounce like this, like just bounce on that full tempo, my beat cut out on me. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just bouncing on the full tempo rhythm of the 8 count, right? And then when we were to if we were to bounce here on the double tempo, we would be using those and counts. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, right? Cool thing about understanding that double tempo rhythm is it starts to help you get into like this sort of like doubling up your bounce, and you can start to experiment with hitting different movements in different ways. So when did you start dance? Embrace the change. When did you start dance? Sending you big love from Poland. I appreciate that. Hopefully you're still in here. I started dancing when I was 13. My sister was taking ballet classes at our local dance studio. I grew up in Arizona in a small town. And my sister was taking dance classes at our local studio. And we were pretty much all the way through the first half of the year, and they decided to offer like a 6-week boys hip hop class. And I'd never taken dance class before, but I decided to join. Me and my brother did it. And then after that, I just kind of kept dancing. I took on more classes. I joined the company at the studio. We moved around different studios in the town that I grew up in. And then me and my family, about almost 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, we moved to Tennessee, to the Nashville area. And we've just been pursuing dance at a bit of a higher level since then. So yeah, I started when I was like 13, which for some people is late. Like a lot of my friends that I've met, like through the convention that I work on and just like through, the dance world, like they're all like, oh yeah, I started when I was 2 or 3. I started in mommy and me classes. And I'm like, dang, you guys got like a whole decade on me. And I was 13. But no, it's just funny. Let me see. What if the song has more elements / more kicks, for example, in this song? So I think that if I'm understanding your question correctly, I think that what you're asking is, does like the elements, like does the kick, does the amount of like sounds in the music determine how you count the 8 count? And the answer to that is no. So every song, if I'm understanding your question correctly, every song has, you want to think about it more so as the 8 count already exists within the song. So the 8 count or the timing of the song is actually something that was used to create the song. So whenever you're creating music or something of the sort, I'm not sure if anybody in here is a musician or anything, but you start more so with figuring out like the timing or mapping out like how, like what the BPM is, especially if you're like making a beat or something. You start by mapping out the timing first. The timing exists as more so like the structure of the song that sort of holds the rhythm of everything together. So you could have a song like this one. It has a kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare. You would still count this song like with a regular 8 count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I were to change the song, you would count it the exact same way, even if the beat structure or the drums or the sounds within the song are different than the last one. Like this sounds way different. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I find that understanding an 8 count or understanding timing, the timing of musicality, especially when it comes to hip hop music, because it's usually a pretty basic like timing / structure that holds the song together. It's usually just a 4/4 time signature, and you can count pretty much any hip hop song that you hear just using an 8 count, which there are different types of songs that you count differently, that have different time signatures. But when it comes to hip hop, it really has to do with understanding this concept of the downbeat and understanding where the downbeat lies in the song. When you because the 8 count, the full counts of the 8 count exist on that downbeat rhythm. So if I were to switch the song up, let me see. This isn't the best example. So an easy way to find the downbeat is to think about when you're at the bottom of your bounce when you're dancing to a song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The downbeat rhythm is on the full tempo rhythm of the song, meaning it is on the, you can time your downbeat in the same way that, pause the music, in the same way that you would time the full counts of an 8 count. But you can count any song that has a 4/4 time signature, or basically any hip hop song or any modern pop song that you hear. You can time it utilizing an 8 count, and the structure or the sounds within the song don't change the way that you count it. Can you tell us more about the difference between top rock dance and hip hop dance? Just started breaking and want to know how I can use hip hop dance to top rock. Great question. I feel like this kind of gets into, Candy Dog, you're welcome. I think that this kind of gets into the topic of like the origins of hip hop a little bit, the origins of the dance. Kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg type of question. So breaking was the first iteration of hip hop dance. When hip hop music first started to become a thing, when they started throwing block parties and cutting up old disco and funk songs and turning them into hip hop songs, hip hop breaking was the first dance style that sort of emerged from that revolution in music. So the dance and the music emerged at the same time, and there's like a cohesive relationship between the two. So breaking is the dance. Top rock is obviously an element of breaking, right? So there's 4 main elements to breaking. There's the top rock, which is all the footwork that we do on our feet before we even get to the floor. That's where you have your crossover steps. You have like your kick step rock, all of this sort of stuff. Sorry, the mic was not where it should have been. That's where you get all of this type of footwork, like these cross steps, all of this type of vocabulary. That's where top rock, that all comes from top rock, which is an element of breaking. This all was happening in like the late 70s, early 80s, when breaking was first starting to become a thing and developing as a dance style. And then as the dance progressed as hip hop culture began to take on like new forms, and it was growing and evolving and maturing. As the music was maturing, the dance was maturing as well. So a lot of people sort of draw the connection between top rock and how it's all done on our feet. It's like it's not really on the floor. They draw the connection between that and the evolution of hip hop dance, which is, party moves like the Reebok or the skate, and then bounce, rock, and groove, right? Like that's what hip hop dance is. They draw the connection between how top rock was mostly done on our feet, and then hip hop dance is more so, done on our feet. We can still go to the floor and stuff, but I think that the way that I see it is, as hip hop dance evolved from, as breaking and hip hop as a genre were evolving, as the music was evolving, the dance started to evolve from being just on the floor to being more like up on top of our feet as well, right? So I think that top, and you see like when it comes to hip hop dance, like just the effect or the inspiration that is drawn from different like top rock vocabulary. You can see like we utilize this type of vocab all the time in hip hop dance, right? And so the thing about hip hop is everything is a layer that's based on another layer on top of another layer. And it's the amalgamation of a lot of different things, a lot of different cultures, ideas, and just methods of movement. And so I think that there is maybe not necessary, like the main difference between the two, to sort of answer your question, is top rock strictly by itself is an element of breaking, but there is inspiration and pieces of top rock that inspired, in my view, the evolution of hip hop dance movement, especially because hip hop dance is more generally done like on our feet, right? You can go to the floor and stuff. And I feel like, with breaking as sort of the first dance style within hip hop, we're always kind of trying to get back to the floor. But yeah, so that's how I would answer that question. Hopefully that makes sense. Been watching your videos for just over a year, and they've helped me so much. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. I have to ask sometimes when I'm freestyling, I tend to end up becoming repetitive with certain moves. Do you have any recs of how to think more creatively, quickly, or external sources of inspo? This is a great question. I think that one of the best advices that I have when it comes to repeating, or when it comes to when you feel like you are stuck somewhere, I think that you can do a lot of different things. Depending on your situation, one thing that can be helpful is kind of diving into this concept of variations. So within any hip hop dance step that you do, there's going to be tons of different variations that you can add onto or that already exist within the step. So for example, like this is the Cabbage Patch. This is like the basic variation of the Cabbage Patch, right? This is sort of like level 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now within this step, we can keep the same movement, add in variations to the timing. Boom, ha, single, single, double, single, da, 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 boom, boom, da, da, da. We can go around the world. Boom. This is another variation to just spin around in a circle. Then we can also do what is known as the side-to-side variation. There are, these are all variations of the same step. And I think that sometimes when we end up repeating, I think that it's an opportunity that we have to dive deeper into those ideas and try to find new ways to like freshen them up a little bit, right? Like if you find yourself doing the same footwork step over and over again, how can you add like a new layer to it, right? If it's just a basic kickball change, how could you change up little things? Boom. Even thinking about like differences in your execution of the step, right? So that's one piece of advice that I have, is thinking about like exploring and delving deeper into the steps itself. The things that you feel like you're repeating, think, okay, this keeps coming back to me. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe I need to dive deeper into it and try to find like a new way to explore with it. Maybe it's like playing around with the timing of it or the texture, right? Or maybe it's adding in like another layer to the step. Like if I was just doing a basic cross step, I could add in a kick. Boom. Or I could cross to the back. Add in a mixture of both, right? Open. Boom. So you can see like when it comes to hip hop dance, like we're just working with variations and finding new variations of different steps, you know? Hip hop dance really is, you know, bounce, rock, groove, skate, party moves. Like that's what hip hop dance is. And, you know, the fun that we get to have as hip hop dancers is how do we take those fundamental ideas? How do we take those steps? How do we take those like components of the dance and put them together in our own unique way, staying true to the foundation, but, you know, kind of stringing them together and showcasing ourself within those elements. So that's one way. That's one thought that I have when it comes to like kind of breaking beyond, like getting out of that repetitive place where you feel like you're stuck, where you feel like you're just repeating the same move over and over. I also think that sometimes that is just a result of like maybe it's your body telling you, hey, like let's add in some new material, like let's explore some new stuff. Although I am more a proponent of the idea of like really drilling and, you know, trying to get to the bottom of the ideas that you already know and expanding on those ideas and like discovering how much you have to play around with even just the few ideas that you have right in front of you. I'm more a proponent of like diving into those than just always feeling like you have to add in a new concept or a new idea, right? So I feel like anyone who like, because really what you're doing when you dive into the ideas deeper that you already understand, you're training your brain's ability to find new ways to sort of like freak the movement and to like add variation to it. And that's a more useful skill than just like repeating a basic version of a concept or an idea. You know what I mean? It's kind of like just saying more words isn't necessarily helping you to communicate more clearly. It's more so how do you utilize the words that you are saying to communicate poignantly, right? And how can you like really expand your utilization of the vocabulary that you already have? So that's a couple thoughts that I have on that idea. I think that that's something that everybody deals with to an extent. I deal with it as well, but yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, if there's anybody who's new in here, if there's anybody who's kind of just joining us, this is the Shed's first live stream. We're just kind of hanging out, listening to music, seshing a little bit, and and I've been answering some questions. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Share this stream with somebody that you think might enjoy it. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, this is something that I'm hoping that we're going to be able to continue to do throughout the next coming months. I think I would love to try to do a live stream at least weekly, if not more. I think that it's just a fun way for me to connect with you guys and a new way to sort of just bring another level of connection and another level of value for you guys, because I can like respond to you guys in real time this way versus like on the channel where I just make a video and send it out into the world. So yeah, anything that you guys, any questions that you guys have, any topics you want to dive into, we're gonna be doing these live streams more regularly, opening this up for anybody who wants to just chat, hang out, session. I'm hoping to have some more people in here next time as well. And yeah, should be cool. We're going to go for another couple minutes, maybe like another, 15 minutes or so. I'm going to give like the 15-minute call, and then we're going to wrap this stream up. So any questions that you guys might have or anything that you feel like you want to talk about or see, be sure to, drop it in there. But yeah, we're just keeping it casual. We're just hanging out. Actually, my wife called me. Might give her a little bit, might give her a ring back. Might give her send her a text. Hey, I'm live on Yeah. Another aspect of this that I think that is so dope about like live streaming, like, live streaming can be like, hey guys, smash the subscribe button. It can be, or like drop the comments in the chat. It can be a little bit like that, but it's also like a dope way to connect with each other and to kind of like, to kind of give you guys like a more realistic view, like a more of a real view, a real invitation into this space. Because, the videos that I put out, even though I like for them to feel really organic and super like, unedited, I guess is a simple way to put it. They're still edited to an extent, just because, they're going up on the channel. But this is cool because this is just, this is unredacted. This is just, everything's happening in real time, and it's dope. So how should one go about learning how to dance? Should I just learn a movement and do it tirelessly and then freestyle to it? Great question. Having a hard time pronouncing your name, but great question. I think that, depending on what it is that, like, what style of dance, like what area of dance it is that you want to go into, I do think that is, that practice that, is important. I think it's the key to growing in any dance style is understanding the foundations of the style, or just understanding like what makes the style, right? Like if it's hip hop, it's understanding like the foundations, the bounce, the rock, the groove, and learning that vocabulary and understanding how the movements string together, and also understanding how to develop a relationship between the movement and the music. It's the same thing. Like if you're learning ballet, like I took ballet for many years, but like it's all about understanding the basics of the style to put together more complicated ideas. Like that's why in every ballet class you start doing the most basic exercise, which is just plies in first position at the bar, right? That's the first thing that you do in every class, even when you get to advanced level. And so like understanding the foundations of any dance style and like viewing those things as like the dance itself. It's not just the simple stuff. It's the meat that makes up what the dance actually is. So yeah, I think it's just, really delving into like whatever style it is that you're drawn to. If it's hip hop, delving into understanding the foundation. If it's light feed, if it's house, like whatever the style is, like diving into it, and then, you know, surrounding yourself with as much people and as much information that, you know, kind of informs that journey that you're taking. Kind of that idea of like, you know, how they say that like the 5 people closest to you, you are the average of the 5 people that you are closest with. I think that the input that you have when it comes to dance or when it comes to anything that you are pursuing is so critical. Like the outside input that you have, whether that's stuff that you are watching or consuming, classes that you're taking, you know, community that you're building. I think that those are all key ideas when it comes to just, you know, learning how to dance. But when it comes to like just the dance itself, like the technical aspects of it, just diving into the foundation, diving into the basics, and just familiarizing yourself with the style, you know, really learn about it, learning the history, all that stuff. So those are some of my thoughts. There's so much that you could go into on that topic, but those are just some basic ideas. Who are your favorite dancers? Man, this is a funny question. So I'm fortunate because some of my favorite dancers are some people that I am very close to, some of my closest friends. I would have to say that, you know, I mean, even giving a big shout out to the homie Austin, my brother Austin Etheridge. He's been a huge inspiration for me in the last couple of years. Kid's younger than me. He's still in high school, but he is just a killer, like just such a killer. I met him like 4 or 5 years ago, but he's been on the channel a couple of times as well. But yeah, I mean, he has been huge. Even I feel like to the genesis of all of this, like the shed and all of that. So all that being said, like I have, when it comes to like people and the way that they move and like stylistically what I'm drawn to, like I am fortunate to say that I have some close friends that I'm very, very inspired by. When it comes to like more like mainstream people that I'm like super, like that are maybe like more well known, I love like, you know, the classics. I love Henry Link, Loose Joint, Buddhist Stretch is also a part of that group. Love those guys. When it comes to just like hip hop, like just raw hip hop dance, you know, I love those guys. Man, sometimes it feels like it's just, where do you even go with it? When I was a lot younger, I was inspired a lot by guys like, there was a phase where I like, honestly, Fiction, for anybody who knows Fiction, he was a huge inspiration for me in my early years when I was around 13, 14. I remember the first time that I saw one of his videos. It was some of y'all might have seen it, but it was his Chains Hang Low freestyle on the World of Dance stage. That was something that really inspired me at the time. And I think that was like my first taste of like, you know, kind of that isolation style of dance. That was something that was super inspiring for me. Yeah, man. I'm fortunate to work with some cool people and to be able to you know, work in the same places and situations as some people that have really inspired me. When it kind of goes to more like the commercial side, really inspired by Nick Bass. For anybody who knows Nick Bass, Misha Gabriel was a guy that was super inspirational for me in my early years of dance. Matt Elward is a homie and a brother for sure. Ivan Kulmaev, I am definitely mispronouncing that. His wife, Deanna, nasty. Know a lot. Know a lot as a light feet dancer. I've been able to take his class. So raw. E Solo. Those guys. When it comes to breaking, I'm super inspired by these guys. It's a group called Style Invaders. I believe that they're from Belgium. Could be wrong, but B-Boy Rob, B-Boy Morris, all those guys, super inspirational for me. Yeah, this is kind of like one of those questions, you know, like when someone asks you like, you know, what's your favorite song ever? Like what music are you listening to right now? And like, there's just so much that rushes to your head that you kind of go blank. Yeah, man. Luis Frias, I work with Luz. I've had the opportunity to work with Luz on the convention that I work for, Luz Frias. She's been a huge inspiration for me, someone who's been just very kind and very supportive. My boy John Gifted, shout out to my boy John Gifted. He's into like all that waving stuff, man. Y'all gotta check out John Gifted on Instagram or something. That guy's, I have a clip of, I freestyled with him a couple of months back. We were working on a convention together and I just haven't posted it yet, but yeah. When it comes to this concept of like improving in dance too, like I think that finding the people that you are most inspired by, finding the dancers and the people that, and the ways of moving, the styles, the methods, finding those things and just like delving into that, like who those people are, like where they learn from, what makes them tick, what part of the world they're from, like their training, the ideas that they play around with, like delving into all of that. I think that the things that inspire you about somebody in their movement are things that they can be used as sort of clues or hints to tell you about who you are as a dancer. So I think that that's huge. I'll drill the hell out of your foundations playlist until I kill it. Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go. Practicing smarter, not harder. Yeah. Yeah. But definitely that dedication to that, just that consistency. That's another idea. Like when it comes to improving in dance, when it comes to like any of this, it's just that consistency, just that showing up, like that commitment to like, you know, getting in the studio and freestyling, or, you know, making up choreography on days when you don't want to, or you don't feel like it, or days when your body hurts, or days when you're feeling really great. Like developing that habit and that consistency, that's major. Yeah, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up here in a couple of minutes, but I want to take like any last minute questions that anybody might have. I want to thank you, all of you guys who have been here. Super stoked. This has been super fun. This first live stream. This makes me super excited to keep doing this. I think that this is gonna be a super dope thing. This is definitely something that's gonna become more a part of the Sheds ecosystem. I really love this outlet. I love that I'm able to communicate and talk with you guys in this way. So yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything that they would like to kind of go into. Hello from Louisiana. Nice live chat. I've yet to hear any female mentors. I mentioned a couple. So my homie Ivan, I work with on the convention, his wife Deanna Modis, she is Matos. She is the owner, the director of the company Modis. Oh my gosh, if I am getting this wrong, I am so in trouble. I have had the opportunity to take her. I've never gotten to meet her personally. Yeah, Modis, directed by Deanna. Taken her class at Motive and at Monsters of Hip Hop as well. Also, Luz Frias. She is also one of my a huge inspiration for me. Someone that I've been able to work with. And bringing up Motive, Marley Hightower. If y'all aren't tapped into Marley Hightower, I seriously recommend that you do so. Marley is so fresh and so fly. Yeah, there's some other people, lots of people that I follow and people that I come across. I feel like, you know, obviously, like I have specific people that I've followed and that I keep up with over the years, and like there are key players and people that I'm drawn to, but I also am just inspired by I'm more so inspired by the movements. And, obviously that's tied to the dancer, but, sometimes I'll see something, whether it's a dancer that I see at a convention or it's a dancer that I see online or something, like someone that I'm learning from. And I'll just be so drawn in by and inspired by their movement. And I think that, me personally, I personally connect most to just that raw sort of hip hop foundation, that raw sort of hip hop fundamentals style. So yeah, anybody who's down with that, but I also have a soft side for the commercial and, different styles. So yeah. Anyways, y'all, this has been super, super dope. I'm gonna send this out, maybe hit another freestyle round if I get a song in here that I'm really feeling. Let me pull up some different stuff. See what I can find. But yeah, you guys, super, super thankful to all of you for being here. Super excited looking into the future. Super excited to do more of these and to just experiment with this whole venture, just this new sort of way of connecting with you guys. So I'm gonna just kind of see if I can find you guys. Where y'all go? Yeah. But yeah, y'all, we're going to sign off in a few minutes. So any questions that you guys have, any last minute thoughts, things that you want to talk about, throw them in the chat. Yeah. If y'all aren't tapped into Madlib as well, make sure that you tap in. Madlib has some amazing instrumental albums that are super good for freestyle, and he's just a producer, man. So I definitely recommend checking him out and delving into everything that he's got. Is this lyrics or is this just?
Hey, I'm checking out Navib.
Devastating. Devastating to your ear. Devastating. Devastating. Devastating to your ear. As he tells you that the sounds you're about to hear rock your world.
All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here, for being a part of the first live stream for the Shed. Seriously appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for all the support, for all the questions, and just for being here and rocking out with me. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for more of this coming up in the future. And yeah, we'll definitely talk soon. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.